Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to another video in which we will talk about a different personality trait. In this video we'll be talking about the feeling personality trait. Now individuals that hold that personality trait, their decisions come from the heart. It's all about emotions, right? Emotions are very important for them. They focus on their emotions and they focus on other people's emotions as well. They can become accommodating for people's emotions more than their own emotions, right? Because for them, all the decisions come from the heart. They try their best to help and support others. They try their best to connect emotionally with people and make them as comfortable as possible because emotions for them are very high. Now, something very important when we dealing with the feeling individual is that we understand their accommodation and we also accommodate for their own emotions, because they themselves can neglect their emotions by being overly caring for others. So what we need to do, instead of following the same pattern where we neglect them, we need to make sure we accommodate for their needs. If we have an individual who are overly caring for others, it's all about others, it's not about so much about me, they need care for their own emotions. So we need to make sure that we accommodate for that. We provide them what they need, which is the need for their emotions as well. And one way we can do this is by being, caring, by being friendly. Being friendly is very important to them, because when they feel that, they're in an environment where, being friendly is not visible or it's not there, it can be very challenging for them, right? They can't stay in that environment for too long, or it can be very toxic. They may feel it's very toxic for them. So having a friendly environment is very important for them, whether it is at work or at home or with, friendships. So having a friendly environment, accommodating for their real needs is very important. They also like to feel connected to others. They like to look at the similarities between me and others. I'm similar to that person. We have these things in common rather than differences, because that connection is very important to them. That feeling is like, I connect with that person. I feel similar to that individual. Being united, having that unity, having that connection together, working together is very important for them. So they tend to be quite sensitive. And I'm careful with using the word sensitive, because it can be seen as a negative thing, but it's not. It's that because they're of the emotions, they can be very sensitive. We need to be quite careful with the way we speak to them, because if we say something very straightforward to them, for example, if they produce a piece of work and we say, oh, it's rubbish, we may not mean it, but for them, that's going to be very harsh. They're going to take it very harshly. I'll give you an example. A child, for instance, they were writing something and the teacher passed next to them, and their handwriting wasn't great, and they said, handwriting is not very nice. To them, it's like, oh my God, you're not attacking my handwriting, you're attacking me. You're telling me that I'm not a nice person. That's how it is with the feeling individual. If you criticize something that might not even be for them, or something that they've done, to them it's like, this is a personal attack. So that's very important to understand, because the language we use with them will have to change. We have to accommodate for the sensitivity. And that child, for instance, they might spend the rest of their lives trying to please people, because that teacher told me my handwriting is bad. I have to improve my handwriting, I have to. And that's exactly what happened with that child. They tried to improve the handwriting, and then they went back to the teacher after some time, and they said, oh, look, my handwriting is better. She was a bit confused. She was like, what do you mean? And the child reminded the teacher that, oh, you told me you criticized my handwriting. You told me my handwriting is not great. And the teacher was like, I didn't mean, anything. I just, saw the handwriting. So we may not mean something, but it can have a very, very negative impact on the feeling individual. So it's very important to accommodate for their needs, and the language we use, we need to make sure that we accommodate for that as well. We try not to. There's a way of criticizing something, right, with the feeling individual. So if we don't like something, we have to think of how we're going to word it, because they will see things as a personal attack. Also, if they do something, for example, if they do a piece of work or, anything that they try to do, even if the outcome is great or not, it's very important for them to appreciate their efforts. Okay, so we tell them, okay, that you put a lot of effort, well done. For them, if you tell them that, it's like, wow, I done something great. So regardless of the outcome, they need appreciation for their efforts. It's very important. When they don't feel appreciated, they could withdraw away, they could shut down. So it's very important that we appreciate and acknowledge their efforts and praise their efforts as well, regardless of the outcome. So we're not talking about the outcome, we're talking about their efforts. That's what is important for the feeling individual. As mentioned, the emotions are very strong for them. So those individuals, we need to accommodate for facial expressions. For example, when we're talking to them, we need to maintain eye contact with them, because if you don't maintain eye contact with them, it's like you not really listening. Are you actually listening to me? If you're looking somewhere, are you actually listening to me? Am I not important that you don't make eye contact with me? So making eye contact is very important. Smiling is very important. So those expressions are very important to them, because they are sending them some messages. So their strengths, as I mentioned, is that they connect with people very well. They accommodate for people's needs. They sense, because of their high sensitivity, because of their high emotions, they sense things very easily. And we need to make sure we accommodate for their needs through, accommodating for their emotions, making sure that we don't neglect that, appreciating their efforts regardless of the outcome, and also maintaining eye contact and smiles when we are talking to them.